Hello, my name is Abdil, and I'm the founder at the Awake Group of companies, where we're focused on bringing quality healthcare to the world, as well as helping make life interplanetary. Now, I have been a founder for at least 5.5 years, and during this time, I have made mistakes as a founder, as a human, and I am a big believer in forging the right mindset. You have to have the right mindset if you want to do anything in the world. If you want to improve in your academics, starting in random order, if you want to be a social entrepreneur, if you want to drive an impact, help solve a problem, make wealth, and then leverage the wealth to make things better for yourself, for others around the world. And that's the core essence. That's my core offering of what I can share. In fact, we have developed a system. So I don't know how much of that I can share because this is supposed to be my promo video on clarity. But I'm going to share some of the work I've done to date, and I think doing so is the best canvas, or the I'll just share about my work to date. So yeah, like I said, I have been in the entrepreneurial space for 5.5 years. So if you go to my LinkedIn, that's the link right there. Uh, it's ADELKHAN1. That's the LinkedIn name I could find. So that's it's got a it's got a complete list of all the startups I have worked on, all the projects I've worked on. I think it's going to give you a slightly better view when you're logged in. Some of the projects are quite audacious, so that's on a longer horizon. But yeah, log in, take a look at what I worked on so far. When you're again logged in, it's also going to give you a listing of what I've done in the domains of my entrepreneurial as well as my corporate experience, because I work for other companies as well. If you're looking for simple answers and you're a new entrepreneur, you're reading books written by, I have a book by Eric Ries sitting right here, books written by Steve Blank, got a couple of books by Steve Blank. So if you are just starting, I would, and if you believe I could be helpful, then I would encourage you to take a look at some of the answers that I have answered. Said that twice. Differently on Quora. So that's the link to my profile on Quora. It's just the names I could find. So yeah, so take a look at the answers. I get a lot of A2As, I guess, for some reason. I haven't answered questions in a while. If you want, you can even ask me questions on Quora. So you can see I've got like 15 requests right now, which I haven't been able to get to. I'm kind of selective, depending on this. Sometimes it looks like people are trolling you on Quora. Anyways, so yeah, so some of my answers are quite detailed. So take a look there um, and see if there is something there that could be of use to you. So definitely useful for first time entrepreneurs. Already. Now, in addition to that, I've historically made content on a variety of different topics that I find interesting. One of the things I really enjoy doing is systems thinking. So I think a fair bit about, or historically, I've thought a fair bit about uh, entrepreneurial hubs, that's a sub node of the thinking I've done in terms of what I refer to as future scenario planning. So this was like one day's worth of effort, but it's many years and decades flowing into that one day where I'm trying to do a systematic mind map of at least how I look at systems and networks and the dynamic and what I personally believe are the things that are necessary uh, for the vibrancy of sustaining good culture. I think everything flows from the culture, and it takes a lot of investments to nurture the investment, to nurture the culture on an ongoing basis. So I have like content on like all the way from what I refer to as neighborhood startup policy. I think town and city based policies are too broad based. You kind of need mentors on a 1 to 10 kind of basis, and the ability to be able to have liquidity and people moving in and out of these circles. So I talk about things like this. I talk about basics of entrepreneurship as well. Talk about AI safety. I've looked into that a little bit, not too much. So yeah, just content across the board. Like with regards to my thoughts over the many years. This is something I've launched recently. We're now doing it in a team-based environment. So my team is helping me with this as well. So far, we've only had one customer go through this, and this is the website. I don't know if there's going to be a contention with us, like this being a promo video for clarity, and then I'm pitching another service. But I would encourage anyone watching this to book a call with me first and see how we're really customer obsessed. So I want to make sure that whatever amount of money you spend is the best money you've spent on a session to date, now and in the future. So it's not, for me, it's not just the session itself. I'm trying to understand the person, their history, what makes them go, and as well as their learnings to date, and try to come up with some kind of a mechanism that can help that individual make the necessary many micro adjustments so that they can execute better. We talk about execution a fair bit, but it has to do with a lot of neuroplasticity, and I think that's something you can do on a 3 to 4 year time span. If you're not good at something, you can make a lot of changes so that the sum total of the impact is much more over a longer horizon. And I think that's also how neuroplasticity works. Neuroplasticity works over a period of time. It doesn't work over days, definitely not weeks. And I think 1 year is not enough. So anyway, so yeah, that's my offering. I'm looking again for longer term relationships. And to come back to the offering right now, this is something we've launched. So it's still in a beta phase. And so far, like I said, we've only had one customer go through this. And we need to update some content there, so I won't speak too much about it. All the work we've done as a company to date is public. So again, if you want to book time with me, and they say a picture's worth 1,000. What is it? A picture's worth 1,000 words, something like that. So this isn't exactly a picture, but it's a dashboard that we have created, which makes pretty much all of the work you've done to date. It makes it publicly accessible, the good, the bad, and the not so, the one where we require some work. So we've tried to, there's some work that is obviously confidential, privacy has to be maintained. So we haven't done that, but that's the link to get to all the work we have done as a team since, at the very least, since January 2021. So I think there's about 2.5, 3 months worth of updates here. Well, 4 months now. No, 3 months and change. So feel free to take a look at this. It may also help you make a decision. So yeah, that's what I wanted to share. Like, I just want to share a little bit about myself, starting with, again, the LinkedIn, talk about some of the answers. You may not have to book a call. You could just have, you just look at the answers to date, and that may help you make a decision. Some of the content I've made on YouTube, as well as something we're working on the side, and the work we've done to date. So hopefully this is useful for, how do I stop sharing? This is useful for anyone who's watching there is on the fence thinking if I should indeed book a call with this guy, Adil. It was going to be a good use of my time. Again, super customer obsessed. I want to make sure that you are set up for success. I believe that the world of abundance is going to be increasingly a reality as more time passes by. And I think there's a lot of I think there's a lot of learned helplessness. People are, I could be in that situation too. I just may not know it. But people were stuck in this pattern of thinking the world's like this or like that, when in reality things are getting better across the board. So I think once you have that, once you see the evidence, and once you take the steps to, you need to take action. You need to take action towards the thing that scares you. And this kind of goes into fear setting. So in launch today, we have at least a 2-week period where we I can actually show let me see if I can bring it up. Yeah, I don't want to pitch launch today right now, but I think if anything, I do want to share my method openly. Because we believe in radical transparency within reason, and we believe in crowdsourced models. So the more, like, I'm looking for feedback on how something could be improved, and the more openly we share our work, the better the outcome is going to be. So yeah, let me share this again. And so the structure for the week begins something like big chunk of week 1 is focused on developing the right mindset. So it's not just watching the content and reading some articles. There's a sync up on a periodic basis. It's not every day. There's an intensity level. So high intensity, low intensity, then high intensity again. It's very much a boot camp kind of environment, but without going into a lot of details, the emphasis is on developing the right mindset, leveraging the right frameworks like deep work from Cal Newport, as well as, like I mentioned, tackling your fears is absolutely crucial for you to be able to execute better, and not just that, but live a vibrant and a very rich quality of life in a organic and good sense of the word, imaginable, and I mean that in a universal sense. If you want to make money, that's great. You also should structure your life in a way whereby you're thinking about meaning, like Tony Robbins would say. I'm not a big Tony Robbins fan, but some of the stuff he says is, I think it's very on point. And Tony would say, achievement is an art, but fulfillment, achievement is a science, but fulfillment is an art. So I think we need to have that mindfulness and awareness that the things we're doing are good, not just for us, but for others. And we grow in a manner whereby our growth is good for our children, those around us. So I think that kind of ties in part and parcel with it goes into the development of the right mindset. It's not just a growth mindset that you need and an abundance mindset, but it's the mindfulness and awareness that there are things that are going to bring happiness and fulfillment in your life, and those are the things you need to structure your life in such a way that those are the things you focus on. And I've actually made the mistakes, so if anything, for this and other things, learn from my mistakes. So we kind of build up on the models. We have a lot of hands-on activities. We get the participants to make things, and we it's right here. Everything's in front of you. Like I mentioned, neuroplasticity. So we're still evolving the structure. So this is what it looks like. It's the activities are, I can share like one of the things. Activities are all laid out. We know exactly how much time the person's going to be spending on these activities. It takes 5 hours on average, 4.5 hours. And, everything's structured. you go through the things in a sequential manner, and then I come in personally and review all the work. So this is what's going on with launch today. I thought I'd share a little bit of the structure to help put a spotlight on what are the kind of things we're working on. We're also working on other things. We're working on the healthcare policy side of things. We're just taking the baby steps on that front. There are other work we're doing in the domain of aerospace. The work itself right now is classified, but our long-term vision is to, it could go out one of the two ways. It's either Awake takes the lead on development when it comes to development of these technologies, or we take more of like, we take a page from what Satoshi did for finance, and we create a platform whereby individuals take the ownership or are incentivized to tackle super, like, large, like not complex necessarily, but yeah, well, complexity too. Like it will take the individual actions of a lot of individuals to take the complexity, chip the complexity away in order to be able to unearth a new reality, like terraforming other planets, or even things like growing food on non-terrestrial habitats, to things like creation and sustenance of O'Neill colonies. And I think there are many different pieces to this. It's not just the technical, it's not just the scientific basic research that we need to incentivize across the board and perhaps in specific verticals. It's that plus the technological problems, then the engineering problems. I think it kind of flows this way. You need to have the basic research first before you can do these other things. And then from engineering, you go into, and these won't happen sequentially in this case. You need to think about a lot of these problems in advance. So you need to think about the human factor, like how will humans work in these habitats? Because we have a lot of luxuries with gravity and shielded from radiation, to the impact of the impact lower gravity environments are going to have on humans, on their joints, on their muscles, on other systems, potentially on their blood. So we're talking about very long, potentially voyages. So whether do we do this remotely, and if we do it remotely, what kind of incentive structures do we need to set up, or what kind of structures do we need to set up in general for remote work? We're going to be operating machines remotely, and then you got to figure out the distance. There's going to be some kind of time delay because there's a speed of light. It's like if you've got something between here and Mars, or on Mars at that, or on Venus, which we're personally interested in, or on Titan, there's all these calculations that need to be made. Maybe we'll come up with like FTL communications at the very least. Yeah, I don't know much about that part of the world, so who knows? But yeah, so there's a huge ethics question. Once that platform is built and these problems, we're taking the baby steps to solve these problems, then there's a question of ethics, because we shouldn't create a reality whereby one resource is controlled by like a nation state, or worse, small group of people. You have like 100,000 people, not 100,000, but 100 to 1,000 people, or maybe one person at that controls an entire planet, entire moon. I don't think that makes sense. So we want to have like some ratification, like some amendments to the Outer Space Treaty, and we got to get the agreements in place by different earthly stakeholders, so that the development of space is, and not just happens in a hygienic manner, which I believe is going to be very important for areas, particularly like areas like Europa, where there could be life. There could be life elsewhere too, maybe in the other icy moons, maybe on Titan, who knows? Maybe somewhere else, who knows? Because there was a little bit of a blip for Venus, then turns out that wasn't the case. I personally think there could be very interesting life, not just not to downplay bacterial or microbial life. I think there could be complex life structures on places like Europe. So we need to really think of the hygiene aspect and you really take care of that because things like that will determine how we evolve as a species. So it's starting to get a little off topic, but this is me. My name is Adil. I'm a father, and I am a Canadian. I'm a servant of North America and then the world. That's how I look at the things right now, uh, and I question that because there's a lot of beautiful cultures all around the world. I want to really go to Africa. Somehow, uh, content from Africa keeps coming up on my devices, probably based on my past reading or viewing history. So there's so many beautiful cultures in Africa with the Himba tribes and tribes in Kenya and Zulu, like, so many amazing, it's a really beautiful way of living. I think so. I, I they all look very happy to me. So it kind of makes me also question some of the things that I do personally. This is definitely going off topic. Like, like I take a shower every day and I like takes a lot of water. And then I was watching a video whereby Himba women were they put this red paste on their hair to keep I guess to shield it from not just radiation but keep like the pests and whatnot out off as well. But then they take a shower with smoke, and they literally take a smoke shower. And there's a specific kind of herb that they used, I think. But anyways, my point is, it things like that makes you appreciate uh, life and the things we have around us. So I'm like working on going towards an increasingly minimalistic lifestyle. There's still clutter around me, but it's less than it was 5 years ago. I guess what I'm trying to say right now is uh, identity is like a very interesting concept. And I was born in Pakistan. My parents were born in India, and I lived a little bit in the Middle East. And I came to Canada towards my late teens. And so I've spent half my life in another part of the world, half my life in North America. And I look at the world with these two different perspectives. And I don't like fitting in was a thing for me, I guess, for a while. And I just, at some point in my 30s, I just stopped trying to fit in and just started doing my own thing, which brings its own set of challenges and also rewards. And it's been a very rich and interesting journey. I use the metaphor of being in a very interesting land, and it's very wondrous, but you're also kind of lonely because uh, you don't necessarily buy into the group identity aspect, which yeah, I don't know if I do or don't. Like I don't ascribe to that model 100%. I also do not ascribe to that model 100%. Meaning there are things that I do personally that are very much identity driven, but at least I try to do them in a way, in a manner whereby my actions, I try to operate my life in a way whereby I think a godlike entity, maybe, uh, what do you say it, character, man. So you just focus on the now and try to do things that are good in a universal sense of the word imaginable. And I feel at this on a daily basis. Like I don't pay my employees really good money, and I'm not reorganizing the work effort so that we can shift more of energies towards fundraising. So there are these things that I juggle with. It's not that I don't think about this, but I try to compensate for that by providing the right incentive structures for the so that things like basic comfort and healthcare, accessible mental health, those kind of things are covered. Long story short, try to do whatever I can in my capacity to make sure that my team's core needs are taken care of. I guess what I'm trying to say overall is nobody's perfect. I totally admit the things that we don't do very well. And, you know, yeah, anyways. So this is a slightly longer promo. I don't know if I'm going to put this promo out or do another shorter promo. I think it's better to be open and authentic about what you are, and or what are your values. And I just put it all, we just put it all out there so that we get feedback, and that, hopefully we also get to attract good team members now and in the future. That's not our primary aspiration, but it would be a lie if I said that we don't think about, at least I don't think about things that way. I definitely do. I hope that people who I connect with, we, as long as there's an alignment of values, that we do good things now and in the future. Hope to forge new friendships and go to strange, in a good way, and exotic and new lands, new areas, have new experiences, meet new people all over the world soon, all over the galaxy. Who knows how things will unfold in the next 15, 20 years. Personally, of a singularitarian mindset. Yeah, who knows what the future will unfold. So I think I'll keep this promo. This is unscripted. So this is me. This is my offering. I hope you do reach out to me, book a call with me, and we'll take it from there. You don't have to take our training. I just want to, the profile on Clarity is something that I haven't engaged with in a while. And I think it's a good medium to put to use, because I've met some really awesome people through this platform in the past. So with that being said, over and out. I'll be looking to speak with whoever's watching this soon. Thanks. Have a great day.